But Devin, I guess we might as well start with this Thursday night football game
Yep.
between the Patriots and the Jets. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even write anything down for that game because it kind of just ended.
Yep.
So it was more of just we just watched the game, so let's talk about it. First things first. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna overreact to like the Jets offense looks even better. And they
Sure.
look because okay, yes, like week by week they've looked better
They
on,
will
on,
get
on
better,
offense.
yes. Now,
But
I mean, the Pats aren't a team that we can go out and say the Jets are on it right now, but
but week by week they've also had easier opponents.
sure.
So now we're at New England where it's like, okay, if there's anything you could give New England, it is their defense.
hmm It is
So
much better than their offense.
so it's not the Jets looking good on offense versus New England, it's not nothing.
No,
But I'm not gonna overreact too much. But it is nice to see Aaron Rodgers
it's
still
awesome.
out there slinging that thing.
It's awesome. Aaron Rodgers looked like Aaron Rodgers. Um, and what was more impressive, I mean, obviously all the throws were dots.
Mhm.
Through one incompletion in the first half or something like that. No, great throws out there, balls that were in perfect places that couldn't have been touched by anybody else. I mean, he's gone seasons where he's thrown four, five, six picks. He doesn't make mistakes. But what was better was he looks fast. He looks quick on his feet. He's waiting in the pocket and then scrambles out. He's not an immediate get the fuck out of there. Their O line held up well enough. The run game wasn't great, but I mean, yeah, it was just a solid go score 3 touchdowns, play some defense, the Patriots were just kicking themselves the entire game.
I
Holding call
mean,
after penalty after whatever the fuck. It was just they never had anything.
but we knew what to expect from New England.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like the Jets D was suffocating. It was just mistake after mistake from the
They went
Pats, and the Pats stink.
what I call 24-10. 24-10 was my prediction. It was 24-3, so they didn't even
Sure.
get their touchdown.
What was my
Uh,
prediction?
your prediction was 35-9.
Perfect. I was
Because
close.
you were going for an absolute blow. I was. I mean, I got a 24. I
Yeah,
said 24-10,
that's sick.
24-3. I mean, I'll take it. But, like I said, there's not really much I can. I I don't want to I don't want to put all my money on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets offense yet. I don't want to. I don't want to start gassing them up too much.
No, of course not.
It's you know what the obviously the first game was the shakiest game, and then last week was who the hell did they play last week?
Tennessee,
Oh yeah, so I mean Tennessee, which was what a one score game if
one
I'm not
score game.
mistaken, like 24-17.
Yeah,
Um, and if it wasn't for Will Levis making like super duper rookie mistakes,
yeah, yeah.
it might have even been a closer game.
Yeah.
Um,
But
and then versus New England, it's like I don't know yet.
there's not much that we can figure out. But what we have figured out is that right now they look good. Again, not making a shit ton of mistakes. The passing game looks good. Aaron wasn't relying on just Garrett Wilson. He wasn't relying on just Brees Hall or
But
anybody. He was
Lazard
spreading
looked
the ball.
great.
Tyler Conklin had some great catches.
Lazard looked
Um,
good. And
Garrett
yeah,
got in
the
there. Lazard got
backfield.
in there.
I love the Jets backfield. Like it's
Yeah,
like I said, I like what I saw, but versus New England, versus Tennessee,
hmm
I don't really know yet. I need to see them versus Buffalo.
of course. But I
You
mean,
know,
I think for what we expected them to.
what's their schedule looking like? The Jets schedule coming up the next few weeks. I'm kind of interested. So they got the Broncos, and then they have the Vikings. See, it's gonna be a while. All right, and then they got the Bills October 14th. That's gonna be my
That's going to be huge.
that's gonna be my biggest way to gauge the Jets.
Of
They
course.
got the Broncos, Vikings, then the Jets. Then they got the
Steelers.
Steelers, which
Steelers defense after that. Yeah.
good defense. Then they got the Patriots again, and then they have the Texans. So those
Yeah.
three out of those 4 games, I will be interested in that. But shit, depending on how Minnesota's gonna look, October
I
6th.
know.
I don't know. I don't know. Apparently,
The Minnesota, the Cardinals, they're all teams that are just, yeah, I don't know. There's no way to tell how good they could be. Like they could be playoff teams. We have no idea. But
but
yet we know who will not be a playoff team, and that's the New England Patriots.
New England Patriots,
I mean,
they're
and at this
not good.
point, like the reason I don't like the Brissett move is because they're obviously not ready to be a playoff team. They don't have the pieces. They don't have the offense. They have a decent defense. But yeah, go let your first round pick develop on the field. I know there's shit to learn and whatever, but I mean Brissett, there's nothing he can do out there.
Well, I think the Brissett move at this point, the Brissett move was more. I need to do whatever I can to get the most possible wins my first year as a head coach.
Sure,
Over, let's let one of our guys develop for a season, because it's like did Cincinnati play like shit week 1? Sure, but who knows how poorly Drake May could have played,
mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden they don't have a season opener where they all of a sudden, oh my god, they beat the Bengals. It's just I don't know, like because like in the beginning, before the season started, it was Gerard Mayo saying Brissett's the most pro ready guy.
Yeah, which
So
he should be.
sounds like you just want the most wins, and it's not. I mean, but here's the thing: the statement like you're trying to make the best moves to get the most wins is like duh, like duh.
Of
Obviously, you
course,
feel that way. But when the most wins is like 6 or 7,
6. Yeah,
and instead you could have a rookie quarterback develop and maybe get 4 or 5 wins, but
yeah.
they go through a season. Um,
Well, I mean, I'm more afraid at this point that it's like, I mean, how bad do they think Drake May is going to be? What did they figure out in between draft night and now that is concerning them? I
you
mean,
know,
Minnesota was willing to give the keys over to JJ immediately, um, or more than likely would have.
I was gonna
Jaden's
say,
there.
were they though?
I mean, I think they would have.
But you got to really look at it though. So I don't know if that would have been a question. You go over to Denver. I think Brissett is more pro ready than the guys Bo Nix was battling for QB1.
1,000%.
If you go over to where, I mean, obviously Washington, Jaden Daniels, there was no conversation. Caleb
No.
Williams, he was a QB1 before he even got drafted. Um, so
Penix is in
maybe
a terrible spot where.
Penix is in an awful spot. Which I mean, at that
I
point,
mean,
shit, New England.
but I mean, for Penix, maybe he wants to be back there, but I don't know.
I might have to hop on that idea of like, did something happen from when they drafted him to when they decided on who QB1 was going to be? Because you have that high of a pick, and you're going to be starting Jacoby Brissett. You're
Yeah,
drafting, you're drafting a weapon. You're not drafting Drake May.
exactly. Like, I mean, how much better is Brissett than Drake May? Obviously, Brissett hasn't gone out and thrown 4 picks a game like a rookie could, but at the same time, there's nothing that this Pats team can do against good teams
Well, I mean,
with
obviously,
Brissett.
Drake May wasn't good enough because they're talking about another rookie quarterback that should be getting a shot in New England. Fucking Joe Melton.
Oh, yeah, Joe
So
Milton.
it's
Yeah,
like it's there. I don't know where the confidence went with Drake May. That it went out the window soon after he got drafted.
well,
Honestly.
I mean, I didn't want him. I wanted Jaden.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I knew we weren't getting Caleb. I had a little glimpse of thought because of the whole I don't want to go to the Bears bullshit. We're not going to the league if it's the Bears or whatever. But I personally I didn't think that Drake May was the guy coming from North Carolina. It's just not ACC is not the same as the SEC, and
It's
I
not a
don't know.
quarterback school.
It is if you're Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, sure.
If you want to be a career backup, But
Uh,
I mean, and then everyone talks about Bryce Young and all these rookie quarterbacks get thrown into Justin Fields, they get thrown into the fire, and it's like they have terrible teams. We saw what happened when an actually good quarterback in C.J. Stroud took over a team that had won 3 games the year prior. Um, it's like if they're actually good, we will see them play well early. Other than that, I mean, Justin Fields might not have a career. Bryce Young might not have a career a few years down the road.
yeah, and also at this point, I mean, it's getting more and more like these QBs getting thrown into the fire. Like that's just, I mean, and it's been like this forever, but it's got to be more and more accepted. Like it is what it
Agreed.
is. Like
They've done it for a while.
these quarterbacks are drafted, and we're gonna talk Caleb Williams in a little bit, but like these quarterbacks, like they're drafted pick one for a reason. Like that
Yeah,
team is one for a reason.
but why are we drafting QB so high if you can just go get a backup
That you believe in.
and
For the
maybe
most,
get a piece and yeah, you believe he's pro ready and you believe that you're going to win more games with him than a rookie and then bank on the future of a UNC quarterback. I don't know.
I don't know. It's a good
It's weird.
question, Devin. It's a good question. You want to